So you're thinking about moving to Montgomery County, but you don't really quite know where to start. In this video, we're going to make sense of the area, how to plan out your commute, and then of course look at what homes might be considered average for the area at various different price points. Then we're going to look into the top 5 most popular places to live in Montgomery County after this. Hello there, my name is Henry Nam. I'm your real estate agent for the DC Metropolitan area. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We seek to be your one-stop resource for all things Montgomery County and help you get to know what it's really like to live in this area. After all, this is where I've made my home after a lifetime of traveling all over the world as a military brat. Now, what are you actually watching today? Well, we're going to start with a bird's eye view of Montgomery County, or as the locals call it, MoCo. I'll teach you how to place yourself in the area on a map, help you get to know the popular roads and routes, so that way you can kind of plan out your commute based on where you might be living. And then we're going to talk about, well, real estate. Now, in the real estate portion, we're going to be talking about real-life examples of homes at average price points. We're going to start with county-wide averages, then look at the county as a whole and what type of homes fall under averages for both condo townhouses / detached homes, also known as single-family homes. Then we're going to go one by one to each of the top 5 most popular areas in Montgomery County and do the exact same thing. Look at the average home price and then compare that with the price of the average townhouse and condo, and compare that also with the average price for detached homes in the area. Keep in mind, this is just a preliminary introduction into the area and is not really a substitute for professional advice or the most current market data. We are here for you, so if you ever have any questions or just want to have a conversation or some ideas by us, reach out. All of the contact information is in the description below. We'd be happy to have a simple chat and figure out what your needs are. Okay, so this video is jam-packed with content, so let's jump right into it. Let's take a look at Montgomery County and get to understand it a little bit more. So this is not going to be a geography lesson, but this is just a very, very brief summary. So this is Montgomery County here, outlined in the red. You can see Washington, DC right here, and this is Baltimore, Maryland. Going a little bit further so you can see the rest of the United States. Montgomery County is right there. Now, the easiest way to understand how Montgomery County works is think about the proximity of various cities to Washington, D.C. And once you're able to conceptualize that, everything makes a lot more sense. A lot of people commute in and out of Washington, D.C., and a lot of the infrastructure is built to support all of that. Now, on a side note, if you would like to know where the super expensive celebrity and multi-million-dollar homes are, that's along here, along the Potomac River. And that's going to be on both sides of the river, the Maryland side and the Virginia side. This is a map of the Metro Rail system, also known as the Metro. This rectangle here is the Washington, D.C. proper systems. You can see over here, this is Arlington, Prince George's County, also Prince George's County, and then over here is Montgomery County. The parts that go into Montgomery County are these 2 lines. So over on the east side, you got Silver Spring, Forest Glen, Wheaton, and Glenmont, and that is the end of the Metro line. And I'll show you where that is. So switching back to trusty old Google Maps, this is the Glenmont Metro station. You can see this right here is the red line. It creates a U that goes into Washington, D.C. and over and around. And over on the Rockville side is the Shady Grove Metro station. This is important because this also has an impact on real estate values, just because a lot of people who commute into D.C. rely on the Metro Rail to commute into the city, because driving for many is really not an option. So switching back over into the map of Montgomery County, again here, this is the Wheaton Glenmont Metro station, and then you got the Shady Grove Metro station as well, which is right about there. I want to draw your attention to the parts that are green and the parts that are gray. Your major metropolitan areas are going to be Bethesda and Chevy Chase, Silver Spring, and you can see the high concentration of roads here, and Rockville. And once again, referring back to proximity to DC, the 2 biggest cities are going to be Bethesda and Silver Spring. So if you're looking for an urban environment, these are the places to look at. However, if you're talking about what areas house a large part of the population in Montgomery County, you're going to be looking at Rockville, Gaithersburg, and Germantown. As a whole, Montgomery County is a pretty suburban area. You have your urban spots, but the rest of it is what you would consider suburban. Now, as you get further away, and as the road concentration lessens, then you're going to get into more rural feeling areas. So as you get further out over to Poolesville, north of Clarksburg, beyond Damascus, and then beyond Olney, you're going to come across a much more rural feel. So if you're looking for places that have more land for the same amount of money, you want to be venturing further out. But if you want to maximize on convenience with access to shopping and the city, you're going to encounter more of that as you get closer to Washington, D.C., or to these major population centers. This is also known as the 270 corridor. So on that note, let's talk a little bit about roads, because this is lingo that you're going to hear a lot. So the first thing I want to direct your attention to is this. This is 495. It's called the Beltway, or the Loop. And as you can see, it is a road that does a circle around Washington, D.C. This is where you're going to see a high concentration of traffic because all the people who live in the suburban markets who are commuting into D.C. are funneling into 495 and then getting to whatever their respective part of the D.C. area. As I referred to just a minute ago, this is the 270 corridor, where the highest concentration of population is in Montgomery County, where we have Rockville, Gaithersburg, and Germantown. Clarksburg is an area that used to be very rural, but it has turned into an area where they have done a ton of construction there. So a lot of people will move out to Clarksburg if they're wanting a larger and newer home. Now another interesting road is 28, which goes from here, you can kind of see it all along, goes into Norbeck, Silver Spring area through Rockville, North Potomac, Darnestown, and then depending on where you go, it gets you in the direction of Poolesville. It doesn't go directly through it because it actually branches off, but it does branch out further. Now, one of the new additions, or I shouldn't say new, but newer additions, is this right here, 200. This is also known as the ICC, or the Intercounty Connector. This bridges Montgomery County into Prince George's County, over here. It is a toll road, and there's something called the Easy Pass, which is something that you can purchase to gain access to this road, but this is only for Easy Pass holders. Another road worth mentioning is 29, which goes from DC, and as you can see, takes you up through Columbia, and pretty much dumps you right outside of Baltimore. And the last little one that I'm going to make mention of is 97, which goes from DC into Olney and beyond. Now yes, there are many, many other roads. Like 355 is a very significant one as well. As you can see, it runs almost parallel to 270. But these, as long as you understand these, those are the ones you're probably going to hear about the most from a commuting side. So now let's talk about real estate. I'm going to use the 2022 figure since that's a full year that we have data for. However, when we work with clients, then we definitely use the most current data since you don't want to go with outdated numbers. So the average price point in Montgomery County in 2022 was $689,950. So let's take a look at 6 homes between $685 and $695. This is what is currently available. So we got Rockville, Gaithersburg, and I'm going to zoom into the map, Silver Spring. So first off, this is priced at $695. This is a house in Rockville. So we're just talking average price point, and this is what is available today. Then let's switch over to Gaithersburg, which is over here. This one's priced at $690 or $689, so pretty much right at that average price point. Gaithersburg. This is a very popular layout for homes. And Silver Spring. Now this one doesn't have any pictures, so we're going to leave that alone, but it is a 6-bedroom, 3-bathroom detached home. So $690,000 as the average home price. Now the median home price, $555,000. So let's take a look at what is available in that kind of general price point now. The reason why I look into median home price is that when you have homes that are priced in the multi-million-dollar price point, that's going to skew the averages some, just the same as when you have homes that are in the $100,000 price point. So at the median price point, this is kind of what we're looking at here. So this is Burtonsville. So Burtonsville is on the northern outskirts of Silver Spring. So if you see Silver Spring going up 29, that's Burtonsville. And just one picture from Google Maps. Silver Spring. Now, Silver Spring, the thing to note is that even though it says Silver Spring as this area, it actually encompasses quite a large area. So this whole section here minus Wheaton is considered Silver Spring. So this is $550,000. Again, we're just going based off of average and what is currently available. Your mileage may vary. And Brookville. So Brookville is just outside of Olney, Maryland, right here. Not an area where as many people search, so it's actually kind of like a nice little hidden thing for people who are maybe not as familiar with the area. So I'd love your input as what you think about the quote-unquote average homes that are currently available. Now, in terms of condos, you're looking at an average cost of $342,418, basically somewhere between $340,000 and $350,000 for a condo. And we have one in Rockville, over here. Now, Rockville is also a large area. So this is called a garden-style condo. These are just some of the nearby amenities. But basically it is, as you can see, homes kind of stacked on each other, and it is one level. Some of these have two levels, but this one in particular is a one level. So that one's priced at $350,000, and I'm going to actually show you this one at the bottom here over in Germantown, up here, because this is also a condo. Now this is interesting because this is a townhouse condo, so it looks like a house building, but rather than looking like a garden-style condo or a high-rise condo, it just looks kind of like a townhouse with an odd shape. So a lot of people mistake condo for apartment complex or apartment style home. That is not necessarily the case. This is over in Silver Spring. This is actually another very popular layout, typically for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath unit. And then this is a duplex. Not a whole lot of these around, but you do come across them every once in a while. Not the most helpful pictures. Now let's take a look at the townhouse price point. So the average cost of a townhouse in Montgomery County was $426,461 in 2023. So using kind of our $10,000 range, let's look between $420,000 and $430,000. You can see Gaithersburg, Germantown, Silver Spring, Montgomery Village, which is right here, Silver Spring. So all areas that we've looked at. So starting at Gaithersburg, coming soon, doesn't really help. One picture. So coming soon, it means that it hasn't hit the market yet. It is something that is available to realtors. This is a condo lobby area, so this is actually not the unit itself. So let's take a look at these in Montgomery Village. Mario, Batman, the music, that's a win for me. Okay, so that one was priced at $425,000. This one is just under $425,000. And this one is actually a condo, townhouse condo in Silver Spring. But obviously we can play around with the home search results a little bit more to get you a better idea, but this is just kind of a good starting place so you have an idea of countywide what to expect. Now, if you're looking at the average detached or single family home, as many people refer to it, the average for that jumps way up to $941,621. Now, that is a very skewed number, but 935 to 945. Because again, the average for something like that encompasses such a wide variety of homes. So there's one house that falls within that price point. Let's take a look. It is in Ashton. So Ashton is over here. Also referred to sometimes as Ashton Sandy Spring. This is a $940,000 home. So there's a pretty large variance. There are going to be detached homes that you can get for under $500,000, and there are going to be those that are multiple millions of dollars. Now, one thing to note about the criteria that I set was I eliminated any homes that have been on the market for more than 10 days because 57.3% of homes in Montgomery County last year sold in under 10 days. So if more than half the homes sold in under 10 days, I don't want to have to sift through a bunch of homes that have just been sitting on the market for a long time. Now, if you made it this far into the video, we're actually going to talk and actually address what was in the title of the video. So what are the top 5 places to live in Montgomery County? Well, I'm defining top 5 based on how popular they are, the areas that the most number of people are moving to. Now, I identified what those top 5 were, but I'm ordering them in the order of price point. So I'm starting with the most expensive first and going down to the least expensive. So up first is Bethesda. So this is Bethesda here, and I'm pulling up every home that is currently available that have been on the market for less than 10 days. The average home price in Bethesda is $1.18 million. So let's take a look and see if we can find something in that range. So let's take a look at this guy here. Now, a thing to note about the area here, and a lot of the homes in Montgomery County, is that even though the city names might be the same, proximity to the metro station and school districts will make a very, very large difference on the type of house and the type of price point that you're buying into. All right, let's take a look at the other one. All right, so this is what we're talking about for the home in the average price point for Bethesda. Now, if you're looking at like a townhouse or a condo, you're looking closer to $490,000 to $500,000 as the average. This denotes a condominium ownership. And you can see here this type. It's probably super, super small on your screen. But these are all the flats. So there currently is not even a townhouse available. So if you're looking for a townhouse and not a condo, you're looking at over $1 million. And even that is a condo style ownership. So let's take a look at this. So as you can see, it looks like a townhouse, but it is a condominium ownership. Do other townhouses come up? Yes. Are they under $1 million? Yes. But this is just what's available here. So let's take a look at the cheapest non-condo at $875,000. Right. That's the home. There weren't additional pictures there. The next one, $895,000. Of course, you have all these different types of condos. So looking closer, $495,000. That was about where that average is. So let's take a look at what the average condo might look like at that average price point. Now, one thing to note here is that in Bethesda, a lot of the condos have very, very high condo fees. So that one that we were just looking at, it is a 2-bedroom place with a over $700 a month condo fee. And that is on the more affordable side for many of the ones in the area. All right, so we went from Bethesda, and now let's take a look at Rockville. Even though this is what Google describes Rockville as, areas like North Bethesda, even a little bit further out, this can also be considered Rockville. So the average home price in Rockville is $621,000. So let's take a look and see. This one's at $629,000. It's not a whole lot of pictures to go through. So probably not a lot going on the inside. And then over on this side, you have a $600,000 condo in Rockville. The average townhouse or condo is going to be in the $400,000 mark. So we got these two. They kind of fall within that range. So this is $389,000. Typically, if there are not pictures and is not coming soon status, then there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I actually happen to know about this one. Another garden style condo. But let's take a look at some townhouses. So this right here is the cheapest townhouse currently available in Rockville at $649,000. And if you bump up to $675,000, now, detached homes is a funny thing because you have some less expensive detached homes, which are usually going to be on the smaller side and older side. But some of them are going to be in needs work condition, and others that are beautifully renovated and move-in ready. So is that $500,000? Is that $530,000? That's a coming soon. But if you're talking about a single-family house, the average sold price is $770,000. So let's go look at $750,000 and $779,000, because that's what we got. So older home that got renovated. And then $779,000. But you know what? What's the fun in that? Let's take a look at what the most expensive and the least expensive looks like. So this is currently the most expensive one available in Rockville. Paired with the least expensive. And let's actually backtrack and do the same thing for Bethesda. So the cheapest at $245,000. And The most expensive that is currently on the market, these are coming soon, so I'm not going to put those pictures up. This one's at almost 3.5 million in Bethesda. Now let's hop over to Gaithersburg. So again, it says that Gaithersburg is this donut right here. If you're curious about the center of the donut, that's mist. So this area is blocked off, which is why it's not showing up on the map. But Gaithersburg, there's some parts that are called Gaithersburg that actually span way up high over here. Goes into North Potomac, Montgomery Village, so it kind of depends, but Gaithersburg is actually a pretty large area. These are all considered Gaithersburg. There's one up here, which is over in Damascus, and then there's one way down here, over by Darnestown. So the average home price in Gaithersburg is about $600,000, so let's take a look at what we got there. So if we have these two that hug it, so 592 and 624. This is the one that's 592. And this one at just under 625. The average townhouse or condo around $430,000. And let's see how that matches up. So this one is a townhouse at $445,000. Another townhouse at 400. Very, very common layout. And then here's a condo priced at $340,000. And for a detached home, the average jumps to right around $820,000. So here's one for $850,000. This is a townhouse. Another one right at $900,000. This is also a townhouse. And at $800,000, here is a detached home. Again, we're taking extremely randomized sample sizes, just going purely based off of price. The cheapest one currently available is $165,000. The most expensive is $988,000 currently. It is a townhouse. $930,000 for this detached home. So let's take a look at Silver Spring. So before we jump over to Silver Spring, how are you actually going to decide on what the best place to look is? Because it can be overwhelming to search. for homes. So you want to start with what makes the most sense for you, what you need in a house. You need to go on practical things like location, and if schooling is important, then definitely look into schooling. But because there's such a large variation, and if you're not familiar with the area and you're not locked into needing to be in a particular place, sometimes it helps to start by looking at what type of houses fits within your budget that also fits your needs. All right, so here we go with Silver Spring. A ton of results because, again, Silver Spring is a huge area. Let me actually just show you just how big, because this map would make you think that Silver Spring is just this little spot here. But you got Silver Spring that goes down here into the Tacoma Park area. Zoom in a little bit. Parts of Silver Spring that goes over here to Norbeck. That's this intersection right there. You even have some that go along up to this area. So Silver Spring actually encompasses this huge section right there. The average price point for a home in Silver Spring was just under $500,000, so let's see what's available for $500,000. So you got one townhouse and 2 detached homes. This one's for $500,000. And another one just under $500,000. Townhouses and condo averaged out at $320,000 if we're looking at in that range. These are all townhouse condos. Let's take a look. This is a 2-bedroom townhouse. This is the same layout as one of the other ones that we saw that I mentioned was a very popular layout. And then you got a condo here for $310,000. This would be considered a mid-rise condo, anything 5 floors or more. That doesn't fall into the high-rise category. Now this is an example of one. We'll go through it first. This is an example of one that has a loft. You can see the stairs going up into that area. Now for a detached home, the average home is around $640,000 to $650,000. This is $565,000. $570,000. Cheapest home is $114,000. However, this is very deceptive because a lot of these fall into Leisure World, which is a retirement community. So Thomas, this one I know is not in that area. The most expensive is around $1.5 million. All right, and last but not least is the town that houses the most people in Montgomery County, Germantown, Maryland. And once again, taking a look at the map, you got parts of Germantown that go down here and parts that go further up into this area here and beyond. So not quite as extreme as some of the other places that we've seen. For Germantown, the average home price is $436,000. So here's one that's available for $435,000. Townhouse. The average townhouse or condo rests around $350,000. So here's a condo at $342,000. We looked at this one earlier. So I'll find you another one. Let's take a look at a condo at $300,000. Garden style. As you can see here, the condo fee is $230 a month rather than the $700 and sometimes even $1,200 a month that you would see in Bethesda. Now the average detached home is around $725,000, which coincidentally is currently the most expensive home available in Germantown right now. So in summary, if you're looking in Bethesda, the average homes are over $1 million. If you're looking here in Rockville, homes are averaging in the mid 600s. Gaithersburg, it's going to be right at the $600,000 price point on average. Silver Spring, you're looking closer to $500,000 as your average price point. And Germantown in the mid 400s as your price point, average price point. So if you're looking to relocate to the area, I hope that you found this guide useful. This was not the most scientific way of going about it, but this was just a basic overview on the type of prices and the type of homes that you can expect to find at various price points. By the time you're watching this video, these homes are probably all going to be sold, but reach out to me anytime. All of my contact information is in the description below, and I'd be happy to work closely with you to find out exactly what it is that you're looking for, what you need, and to make sure that you actually stay within budget. If you're about to make a bad real estate decision, I am not against just telling you that it is a bad idea. Also, the sooner that you get in touch, the sooner that we can work on finding some off-market deals, basically things that are not available online. However, that does take time and that does take a lot of legwork on our end, so the sooner that you reach out, the better. Now, if you're wondering how much you should be spending, reach out to me. I'm happy to put you in touch with some lenders who can run some calculations for you. Oftentimes, one of the biggest obstacles for people is just the unknown. And by running a few numbers, by grabbing a few sample properties, going off of taxes, HOA, or condo fees, and then of course anything to do with your mortgage, usually we can come up with what that monthly figure will look like. So feel free to reach out anytime. We got a great team of lenders, and I'm happy to walk you through the buyer consultation so you have an idea of exactly what it looks like to purchase in the area. We have a very good track record with our buyers. We respect your timeline and your budget, and whenever our buyers make an offer, we usually have a very good idea of what your chances are of getting the house. So there shouldn't be too many surprises throughout the process. Well, thank you again for your time. I really hope that you found this helpful. There are going to be a lot of other videos, so be sure to subscribe and leave a comment. It'll help us show up in your search results. And if there's anything more of what you'd like to see, then please write a comment in the section below. And I actually have a question for you to wrap out. Among everything that you've seen, what do you think is the best deal in terms of the type of houses, price points, and location? So leave those in the comment section below. I look forward to reading your responses, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.